See if we can hail them.
Hail them.
Hailing frequencies open, sir.
Hailing frequencies. Open.
I don't know why I keep giving alien street food a chance. It's always such a gamble.
Captain, we're being hailed.
On screen.
Hello, and welcome to another Hailing Frequencies Open podcast, where we continue to trek through the past and future of Star Trek. As always, I'm your host, Mike Jones, and tonight's recording is all about unpopular opinions and confessions. We're going to play a little game called Don't Hate Me, but... And we've gathered a few of our favorite friends of the pod, and we're going to see if we can lose those friends with our terrible opinions. But first, joining me here in the Zoom room, when today's topic was proposed, he was so excited to pull out and dust off his decades-old diary of, quote, thoughts. It's Damian.
She actually made me laugh this time. I don't know why. She caught me at a weak moment. We're in a full-on fire drill state here at the Hailing Frequencies Open Pod. And
Red alert, red alert.
red alert. Mike Jones, I just want to say I had an amazing time with your husband last night.
Oh my.
Yes. Yes. And we're cousins. So just, chew on that for a while.
Yes, Tim's in New York without me, so everyone else on the pod, except for, well, I haven't introduced anybody, but except for Nzinga, I think everyone else is in the city. So,
Yes.
So she's afraid to play this game because she's terrified you might not like her. It's Lanita.
Well, what lies are we telling today? Terrified people won't like me. If they don't like me, that means they won't talk to me. If they won't talk to me, that means I'll be left alone. Joy. What a joy that would be. Please. Oh, Damian. Terrible. Terrible.
This is why she comes on every week, so that she can be left alone for 2 hours.
It's a joy. It is a joy. I think
She
the
goes
die
down to
has
that
gone to your
basement
head.
and locks the door.
That is correct. I think the die got to you today. We'll work on that for next time, okay?
I mean, it's quite possible because I'm going to be honest. I got out of work a little late, and it's always a scarf down food situation. But this, we were due to have our dear friend Lucy Blue Skies of Slut Trek fame, who we're all going to see in a couple weeks, and she sadly had to cancel with a migraine, and so. We put out the call, and our true blue loyal Trekkie friends are here in her place. So we're like, it's crazy this happened in 20 minutes. So here we are.
Yes. But our first guest, we had her on very recently, and she threatened to be our charismatic cult leader. So naturally, being the insecure people we are, we invited her back immediately to guarantee an invitation to the cult. Some of us had trouble coming up with our list tonight, but we're betting that she had trouble editing her list down. Will you hate her tonight? We can't imagine it. But if you do, I'm fairly certain we're going to love every minute of it. She's one of our favorite Trek content creators. It's Nzinga from Holodeck Hose.
Thank you so much for being the first members of my cult. It's always been a dream of mine to be able to inspire people to open up their wallets and drink Kool-Aid with me. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Yay,
welcome. It's so nice
welcome
to see you
back.
again.
So glad to be back.
Oh, so
Replicate the
excited.
Kool-Aid.
See, when you answered our cult question with such like deadpan earnestness, I was pretty sure that we knew that we needed to have you back with us ASAP. So. I'm so
Literally
glad,
a dream of mine. If
I'm
I
so
could
glad
do
that
it
you came
tomorrow,
to
I'd do
play
it.
with us tonight.
I'm so glad to be here.
And our next two guests did not get the benefit of Damian taking time to write a nice intro because they literally just agreed to do this minutes ago. But we are happy to welcome dear friends of the pod, Leigh Ellen and Sonyl.
Hi.
Hello.
Can we just do our own intros then? Something like the dashingly handsome and absurdly
No.
stupid.
No.
The ever so
No.
booked Leigh Ellen and
No.
Sonyl just
No.
happened to find a hole in their schedule where they happen to be in the
A
same building
hole in their
together.
schedule. Okay.
You said it, not me.
HOLE hole.
Same thing that I was talking about.
Of course. Yes.
It's already ridiculous.
Listen, thank
Off
you
the
all for
rails.
jumping in. We really appreciate it because, we need some extra folks. But, I know that Nzinga can carry this by herself, but we figured like a little more spice added to the table is always a good thing.
Also, Nzinga, we just met tonight, but I'm really excited to join your cult, girl.
Listen, like I have a whole sidebar, and I'm gonna control the ADHD so I don't go for the sidebar. But
Oh yeah.
it's
So,
like
so
Well, you know
Nzinga,
that we love a bird walk, so we all have our ADHD moments here on this podcast, and it's you're at home with friends. So
Yes, you're in good company.
so
I
question
thought
before we
into
get
the
started. Between all of your guests, the three of us, on a scale of 0 for normal and 10 to ultra sass, where would the hosts rate each of us?
Of ultra sass. Sass
Ultra
is
sass to normal.
well, none of you are normal.
Exactly.
Normal's
As
so
long as we
boring.
have that baseline.
Correct. Ultra. I don't like ultra sass because Nzinga is. I don't say sass, but it's so clear and cut and just direct. So it's 10. I love it. It's just like surgical precision, slice and dice.
I love
Sonyl, you were like an 8, because only an 8 because sometimes you're 10, but usually you're an 8 because you always have something quick to say. And sometimes it's a little left of center, but we take it and we bring you back. Leigh Ellen's like a 4. She's so it comes in, but not really. Just you're too earnest with things. So sweet.
oh,
Well,
she was
thank
just so
you.
sweet to Leigh Ellen.
Wow.
Would
Because
you
Leigh
call
Ellen.
me a cherub, if you will?
Oh no, there's only one cherub.
Only one cherub.
There's only one cherub, and that will be his name forever. Don't really.
I had
What
to
is
bring
his
up
actual
Austin.
name? Wait,
It's
that's his name.
Austin, and it's horrible that you don't remember it. I'm sorry, I am going to shame you for that.
I don't feel shame. That's the one thing. There's no shame here. He's a
So
cherub.
so
Be
Lanita, I
forever.
guess you're on the 9 of that scale.
Probably
No,
a
she's
12.
an 11. Yeah.
Hers
If
goes
this-
up to 11.
Correct. 10 wasn't loud enough. Damazon, Mike Jones, would you like to jump in, or are my numbers sticking?
No, I stand by your numbers. I stand by your numbers. And I love Sonyl deeply, but he's not hijacking this podcast from Mike Jones. We have our own agenda.
Just let me finish. Just let me finish. I really have a lot to say.
see, I feel like Sonyl
Yeah,
should have gotten the 10.
No,
I mean,
no.
see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
No, that's
let
the thing,
me
'cause it's-
finish. Like, there's
'cause I
so
don't like
much more I
sass.
can say.
It's not
No,
sass.
all
It's
the
like
sass.
it's
It's
too
not
dry.
sass.
It's too dry for sass.
It's
It's
too
something
dry
else
for
entirely.
sass.
Yeah.
Sass comes in different flavors. I say 10s all around.
I'll work on it.
Leigh Ellen, a 10 for sass?
But
no.
in what moment are we talking about is the
I
question.
mean, okay, fair enough. Fair
True.
enough. I give you
That's
that.
true.
Yes, yes, there can be 10s, but usually it's just
I rest at a 5. I'm a resting 5.
Resting 5 face. Okay, Damazon, explain the game to us.
Okay, so
Mormons do this?
What's that?
Mormons.
Mormons. Listen, you guys. All right, so this is my little background.
Wait, are we
here.
serious?
No,
About
I'm not. I'm
Mormons?
totally. Yeah, no. Bird walk out of the gate here, you guys.
Okay.
I just came back from a vacation for my friend's 50th. My dear friend, is a former Mormon, and many in
Thank
her
you,
circle.
former. Thank you, former.
Yes.
I almost said, did they keep the underwear? But
No.
Okay.
No. But she's got stories, and it's fascinating. And but one thing that they do is they do these like party games where it's like all these games, and this vacation was full of them. everybody go around in a circle and say, right? And so there's this game that they play called I love this about you. I've learned this from you. But would it kill ya? So it's like good, bad, right? So it would be like, Mike Jones, I love that you always keep us afloat and steer the ship straight. I have
Forward,
learned how to
never
podcast
straight.
from you to the extent that I have. But would it kill you to get the intros right? Right?
Whoa.
Lanita,
truth
I
there,
love
that
that you
hurts.
speak in your own language that you don't bother to explain to anybody. You have taught me not to give a shit about what other people think, which my partner would probably say is moving me in the wrong direction. But okay.
Whoa.
Would it kill you to put on a uniform once in a while?
You know, it wouldn't. But I can't do it here on this pod. I can only do it when I'm in away missions to represent
I understand.
the pod.
I understand. But so games like that where everybody sort of go, and I actually was the one. I actually stopped the game entirely, and everybody had to leave when I gave my "Would it kill you?" And I was like, I thought that's how we played. So I was like,
what?
so naturally, my
True.
podcast brain is going off, and I'm like, okay, we need to adapt something like this for the podcast. So we're
Also,
playing.
like, being a Mormon isn't awful enough. We have to insult each other as Mormons. Like, what kind of a fucking game is this?
It's not. It is meant to be with love.
Yes, it's like, think about this. You know, like, hey, I've noticed this thing about you. Would it kill you to do this thing that I kind of want you to do? But Damian, I want to know what you said that stopped the game.
Me too.
Yes.
Inquiring.
Okay, well, this is a friend who notoriously wanders off while you're talking to her. Like, you lose her attention very quickly. And I said, would it kill you to maintain eye contact when the topic isn't you?
Please
I thought that's how you played. I'm not a Mormon. I was just following what everyone else was doing. I didn't know.
Please note for anyone not watching with video, everyone except for Sonyl had an open jaw at that silent open jaw where Sonyl had the puckered lip of, oh my God.
Yes.
All
right. My apologies for going off. So what we've all done.
It was perfect.
What we've all done is we are going to play Don't Hate Me, But. Okay. And we've each prepared 3 statements and these are largely controversial opinions or confessions or something that is, a provocative thought. And then as we say it, we sort of defend our position and then we'll discuss. And that's the game. It's not really complicated. The question is, who should go first? I think Lanita should go first.
Why? Well, Lanita's not prepared.
Because you were looking right at me. You're right below me on my grid here.
How can you tell who she's looking at?
You're looking right
at everybody.
I'm ready to rock, paper, live long and prosper.
I don't like going first. So, look, Sunil's going first.
You gonna take my fingers a second? Okay.
That is correct.
You're going first, Sonyl.
You're going first, Sonyl.
All right. So Don't Hate Me, but Riker and Akona 100% should have had a thing on screen, but probably did off screen.
Oh.
Okay, so you're referencing, all right, if anyone didn't catch this is season 2 episode, The Outrageous
Akona.
Damian
just froze.
Damian just froze, yes.
Season 2,
so this was the sexy pirate man who I learned from Damian earlier today was actually second in line to be cast as Riker, which is shocking.
Right.
Which then would kind of make it like a Riker having sex with himself kind of situation if we were gonna, you know, really.
He probably would if he could anyway. Transporter accident, he'd go for it. So
yeah,
that literally could have happened.
Exactly.
I mean,
I could see the Kona thing. He was kind of hot too. I can dig the Kona thing.
Yeah,
it was so hot.
I'm not mad at your opinion,
Controversial.
and I don't hate you for it because I think it should have happened.
Right.
Is that the kind of response you guys are looking for in this?
There's no actual response
we
we're
supposed to-
looking for.
Like,
It's
should
just
I
like,
go in the other room and fist fight Sonyl right now?
Yes, I think you should go in the other room.
I
and
think
fist
by
fight
the
him.
end, I think by the end you should. We should just see him, you just tackling him and
Like,
flying off the screen. Yeah.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
that episode didn't have a lot going on. And so I think there would have been plenty of room for that to happen.
I liked that episode.
Didn't he hook up with Terry Hatcher? Am I wrong? Is that the same episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Like
The outrageous
Okona.
Okona.
Well, I don't know.
Okona, something like that.
Okay. Y'all know my memory for episodes.
Oh, it's fine.
Ugh, what?
It's a fun episode, though.
I just
it is.
looked
I
up
remember
a
this
picture
guy.
again, like earlier today, and I was like, ugh.
Maybe this is just your fantasy.
This is
Yes.
not
Yes.
impossible.
That's funny. Okay. I'll go next. Damian already knows mine, and I already angered him with it. So I think it might.
Nice.
Here it is. Don't hate me, but Deep Space Nine ruined Gene's vision.
Gene's vision.
Roddenberry.
You've literally stabbed Nzinga in the heart.
Now,
She's gone.
Mike Jones, I feel like you can't just put that out there. You got to talk a little bit more.
So what I really mean, and the more I thought about it, the more it wasn't really Deep Space Nine, but it happened at the time that Deep Space Nine premiered. Once Deep Space Nine came out, the showrunners moved farther away from the utopian future, and we had more Badmirals, we had more war plots, we had it took things in a darker direction that when I was a teenager, or a preteen or whatever, when it was happening, I didn't really get into that. I was like, this isn't like, where's Captain Picard? Like, I want carpet and comfort, not like, the
Conflict and
not
resolution.
conflict and pirates,
Okay, the fact that there was carpet on the bridge to let you know already that you were wrong. Carpet in the kitchen. You should already know you're wrong.
Correct.
Carpet in the kitchen.
So my counterpoint would be that TNG had to set it up to give us what was the contrapposto to the utopia, because we set up the utopia, but we didn't explore the further themes, and so Gene's vision was to bring awareness to that, right? It wasn't so much that we could be utopia, but we are not utopia. Because science fiction is a commentary on the present, right? So we have utopia, we set up what utopia looks like, and DS9 and company went and showed, and here's how we got away from that. Here's why the Federation was this, and this part of the galaxy, or the Alpha Quadrant, or the Gamma Quadrant, were not. So it brought the story in a different direction, but I would say it furthered Gene's vision to show how humanity could, and therefore others can.
Mike said,
I would. What?
Yes.
Oh.
I agree with Sonyl. I think that Mike is absolutely wrong. So for one, when you're talking about the Badmirals, you have Badmirals in TNG, so we still had that same thing. So there's this undercurrent, I think, of DS9 where DS9 is stationary, and a lot of people didn't like that. I also feel like because it was filmed to be darker, and like, okay, we're going to skip over the fact that they did actually have a war, but I feel like a lot of people attribute DS9 overall as being a lot darker than TNG. And for me, I'm like, TNG also had the alien that went nowhere that was taking over people's bodies and got head exploded on what was that, season 1 finale or
Conspiracy.
season
Oh,
2?
conspiracy.
Yeah, conspiracy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So it's like
The
that
parasites.
was pretty dark. Yeah, that's pretty
Pretty dark.
dark. Like Picard
That's what he
having
looks
to. Right. It is like Picard having to navigate the fact that he was violated by the Borg and taken over and was actually going against his crew. Like, that's pretty damn dark. I think that there are things that are there. And if I'm being completely honest, which could be a hot take, but I think that when TNG started talking about things that actually mattered and got a lot deeper and better in its story writing, it was darker anyway. And then DS9 just blew it out the water. DS9, it trumps TNG for me.
I
Well, and
agree.
you know what episode I would bring up the episode of TNG called The Wounded, right? Which is
Yeah.
the O'Brien episode where they go chasing a rogue captain who is
Introduction of the Cardassian.
Right.
who's trying to
Introduction of
restart
Cardassians,
the Cardassian War. I mean, that is, he is the not a bad admiral because he's one rank down, but he is, he's a human, and he's showing, that so that even already in TNG, and that was season 4, we did have that kind of those kind of dark characters in humans, and I think what Deep Space Nine did which is what you see TNG do this with Worf all the time, right? All of the humans on the bridge, or in the observation lounge, are offering these like very evolved, sort of enlightened opinions. And, Worf is always like, I think we should shoot him up. And, Picard is like, no, Mr. Worf, right? So it's always sort of like the alien that is the stand-in for our human troubles, which is, Deep Space Nine is clearly Bajorans and Cardassians as stand-ins for any number of human.
Sure.
So they're using, that humans are still evolved mostly, but that, they can explore those sort of not quite utopian worlds through aliens.
I would say that I think where it really stems from for me, and this is not a hill I'm dying on or anything, but Deep Space Nine gave us Section 31, which I've never really liked, and then it got a terrible movie. But
You're saying a lot of controversial things
I know,
right now.
I know.
No,
But,
that's not
like,
controversial.
I
think about
love Section 31.
That's
the
unfortunate.
movie,
That's
like,
movie.
The movie you love?
No, not the movie. The
good.
actual government
the
entity.
concept of it. The thing is, like,
It was too FBI.
It asks the question, like, how do you maintain a utopia? Like, there has to be like someone doing the dirty work and like sweeping it under the rug to make sure that everybody else gets to have a utopia, and we pretend they don't exist. And that made me sad. Like, I don't want strings attached to
But it makes it more believable as a utopia at all, because I think that utopia is something that, like, I mean, literally, did you guys have to read that book Utopia when you were in middle school or elementary school, whenever we read it?
It's
and
a
like
dystopia.
everything is a dystopia. So like DS9 actually proved to us that yes, the humans and Earth and the Federation are living in this utopia, but they still are having to deal with outsiders and try to bring them in or try to convince them that, yeah, it's a utopia. We're not trying to kill you. We don't want to murder you. We just want to find out about you. And so I felt DS9 like really brought it down to make it a little bit more, I don't know, real or like almost believable to me that like, yeah, this is something that could happen,
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I think that DS9 kind of took it from, Candy Lane to everything is just great and we're just traveling through space and nothing ever tries to get rid of us, which, by the way, we still have to think about it. Even with to Leigh Ellen's point, DS9 was trying to have this whole diplomatic conversation between like the Cardassians, you have the Bajorans, you have the wormhole that everybody is trying to get control over. So they're actually working towards this diplomatic relation with other species, which I think is very realistic, just because you have that utopian feel or everybody gets along on Earth, which they do not. And that is also shown time and time again throughout Trek, that there is still some form of discrimination against other species that are within the Federation, even. But if you're going to have to get all of those people together and those different cultures and beliefs and everything else, it is totally unrealistic to think that, you know, hey, it's cool. You can have free trade in the wormhole, but I still have control over it, and nobody's going to say anything. You know? So and you see that, but you see that even in TNG. That's why it's always interesting to me when people talk about how dark DS9 gets, and I feel like DS9 does not get any darker than TNG. I think it gets more authentic. But there's no difference between the two.
I might add, and this is actually maybe a point on Mike's side here, is that bringing it back to Roddenberry's vision, right? Roddenberry's vision was that the utopia of the Federation was kind of the end all be all, that it was like this thing that we should all aspire to, and that within Star Trek, all of the other worlds should aspire to this. But Deep Space Nine tells a story. I mean, it's established in the very first episode that that one of the major arcs of Deep Space Nine is, will Bajor join the Federation? And as we go through that journey at the end, Bajor does not join the Federation. And that is part of it. And that's part of what makes it. And it's like they knew in writing that story that as an audience, that was the only satisfying way that it could end, because the Federation was not necessarily what Bajor was meant for in the story that they told. So, and, you know, you do feel like everyone ends up where they should be at the end of Deep Space Nine. And part of that is Bajor's not in the Federation, and that they're something else. And they have avoided that ideal. That was Gene's ideal. So if what you're saying is that it's not Gene's ideal, which is a very narrow definition, then maybe.
Well, and to counter my own point, maybe Gene's vision needed to be ruined to make good television.
I agree.
I don't know that I'd say ruin. Maybe change.
Yeah, that's not the right verb.
Well, we're being purposely provocative here, so
we are. When I first wrote it down, I wrote Deep Space Nine ruined Star Trek, and I was like, nope, that's too provocative. Because I actually do love Deep Space Nine.
Like, I don't believe it. I can't.
What am I actually talking about? And I was like, it's really just this, you know. I mean, the famous quote that Jonathan Frakes always says, that Roddenberry explained to him, in the 24th century, there will be no hunger, there will be no greed, and all the children will know how to read. And I don't know that the show really undid that, you know, because on Earth, I think all of that was still true. But in the alien species, there is definitely greed. Greed is the number one thing. If human beings can evolve beyond greed, then a post-scarcity, like, replicator society could work. But we literally are not wired for that. So,
but that's the thing. Like, hot
we have
take,
to evolve.
The fact that the Federation is greed. Like, at the end of the day, you're saying, oh, we're exploring the stars to have a scientific journey to reach out and learn about other people. Then why does anybody need to join the Federation? That is basically
missionary
colonization, assimilation. The Federation is a Borg of a different light. That's all it is. Instead of forcibly, you know,
is that one of your? Is that your "Don't Hate Me" but the Federation is a Borg of a different light?
Sure, let's go with it.
Yes. No, you don't have three. Count it.
You know you don't.
One. It's Lanita's turn.
I've literally said that in the beginning. I literally said, y'all know I don't have three because I love Star Trek so much. But it popped into my mind, like, but because I have thought about this before, that like, why do you need to join the Federation? Like, why can't it just be, hey, this is the thing that Earth has, cool. And then the Vulcans have their thing, and we just, it's like the United Nations, but not really, because the Federation is like, you have to have follow our rules, processes, and procedures. Why? Bajor was like, nah, y'all aren't
But
for us.
I would argue that the Federation is willing to accept and bring in all the different cultures of the different alien species to a
With
point.
rules. So
But
see,
they're
to a
not.
point. But they're
But
not.
they're not. Yeah. So to Lanita's point, they do have a very clear-cut set of rules that for people to even be involved in the Federation, which is part of the whole thing with Bajor and the Federation, was at first Bajor wanted to be a part of the Federation and they were trying to get them ready to join in. That was the whole thing. So it's like you still have to assimilate to a certain point in order to be accepted into the Federation. And if you do not meet that level of assimilation, then you are not allowed in, period. There is no choice. You just don't get in.
Is it
Okay,
assimilation, or
so
is it more the idea of, back to Gene's vision of enlightenment,
But
or
who's to say?
progress?
But who's to say that the Federation is the albeit enlightenment? Like
Right.
that's my issue in general with like um, organizations who are like, we want to bring all these different people together, but we want to strip away, for lack of a better term, the thing that makes you you. Like there can be like the only rule that should be is that mutual respect. I respect your culture, you respect mine. Like the rules of, oh, it's like saying you have to get rid of your nuclear weapons in order to join. I have them, you got them. Why do I have to get rid of mine to join up with you? Why can you have phasers and I can only have, you know,
Yeah. Question then:
phaser set on stun?
what did they make people take away? What did they
I
assimilate?
don't know. I
well, like the
think
Klingons with
are the
like we
Jem'Hadar part of the Federation? Are the Kardashians a part of the Federation?
They didn't want to be. There wasn't a question of them ever being, because they didn't
Why?
want to. They didn't want to try.
I
But
I
did they
Did
actually
not
the
want to
think
try?
Federation want them?
They
I
were
do think
antagonistic. They were directly opposed to the Federation, so they didn't even want to. They could have very well, as a society, been. They didn't want to.
But you do get the
Want to
idea
try.
that the Federation, the way that the Federation looks at other cultures is that they look at another culture as that all of these different races that they encounter have the potential to, as they might put it, evolve into Federation material, so that as we see views of the Ferengi are introduced as villains, and over time, a lot of the sort of like future stories of in the next generation era involve the Ferengis have joined the Federation. That so that
but like
they do
what
view
did
these other
they
cultures as not as
but
adaptable to them.
but what did they drop? Like the Ferengis dropped a lot of their like greed and their hunger for Latinum.
Nope.
And then that was kind of what made it okay. Or like the
No, they
Klingons.
didn't.
Like the thing that
No,
I wouldn't agree with the Klingons on is like the revenge killings. Like, is it
they
okay
didn't
to
give
just
them up.
I would
revenge
totally
kill?
agree with them
They
on the
didn't give them
revenge
up.
killings.
They didn't give it up. Well, I
Mhm.
mean,
But
here's the,
I also think like the Federation, it's not like if you don't join us, we're going to kill you.
right.
It's like if you don't join us, we're just not going to give you the protection of the Federation, but we're not going to come after you just because you didn't join us.
Well,
Which
they
is
still did
true.
protect. They still did protect non-Federation planets, but like if we look at Kesprit, I don't remember the name of the episode, but the divided planet where one
Kesprit
half
is attached. This is Picard and
attached. Thank
Beverly
you,
are attached. Yes.
thank you. So one half of the planet wanted to join, the other half didn't, and at the end of the day, that the fact that the same people couldn't get along was antithetical to joining the Federation. So they said no. They're canonically TNG at least, and maybe Deep Space Nine is the only one that was flat out rejected after they applied.
Fascinating. Well, and and we tend to look at, I mean, the elephant in the room here is that the Federation is like sort of our stand-in for the United States in the way that we tell these stories, and that we, that as Americans tend to have the belief that small L liberal democracy is the ideal form of government or the ideal kind of culture. And that, and then we look at some of these other like theocratic states, and, we look at it with a view that our way is better, yet at the same time, some of these theocratic states are oppressive to women and to LGBTQ communities. And, it's...
And yet they're doing that here too.
Exactly.
Horse of a different color.
Indeed.
Exactly.
I
So,
think that's
hypocrisy all around.
right.
And even in Star Trek.
Right. I had a thought a while ago and then it ran out of my head, so I'm gonna shut back up.
All right, so maybe
We'll run back
it's
in.
time for the next Nzinga. Maybe it's your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will give you the thing that I don't think is going to be a super hot take, but don't hate me. But the species in Star Trek are species, not races. And it drives me nuts because I feel like everybody's always like they're different races and they're dealing with these different races, they're different species. They are literally different species, and it seems like a really small thing, but I feel like the language definitely matters in that sense. But y'all aren't going to disagree with me, because if you do, I'll fight you.
Well, no one's going to
100%
disagree.
no.
No one's
You're
because
exactly right.
because it doesn't, like, completely different beings. Period, point blank. Like, I always wonder the reason that they made so many humanoid, because it's easier for like an actor to do that, right? Like,
Sure.
it's
cheaper for the
function
CGI
form, right?
budget.
I would have wanted, like, in Lower Decks for there to be even more species that were less humanoid, right? Like, in Prodigy, you got that weird. Well, he's humanoid. Really, Merv is the only one,
We got the chase, though, that kind of told
and
us
the Big
that.
Rock.
We got the chase that told us a little bit about that.
Yeah. That our DNA was planted
DNA was
throughout
super,
by the progenitors.
But the funny thing is that Nzinga has a really good point there, because, and I'm saying this, like, we're Homo sapien, right? Is everyone else a Homo?
They should be.
This is June. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't be homophobic right now, Sonyl.
No, come on. That was
good.
comedy tonight. Come on.
But Star Trek does use various species as stand-ins for race. I mean, I think we've talked about this a lot before, and sometimes
Sexuality.
successfully, in a way that sort of really does like add depth and explore. Because sci-fi and Star Trek is really meant as a mirror to us and the struggles that we have, and sometimes and then we've seen it go horribly wrong in things that should be struck from canon, and then sort of more
Like what,
questionable
Jameson?
ones.
What are we striking from canon?
Code of Honor. I mean, I think we've covered this.
Nzinga,
It's like poking the bear.
I was curious. Nzinga, did you notice like specific times when they said races instead of species, like that they're like bringing this up?
Yeah, so just in regular conversation. So even in this conversation, people are saying like different races, but it's really
I did it
different
earlier.
species.
Yeah.
Yes. And the reason why I point it out is because of the fact that they use different species as stand-ins for different races in real life. And I think that it's really important to differentiate the two in your brain. And language trains you. Language, how you use language, the way that you describe things can train you into subconsciously seeing things. And it's really important to me because, to Damazon's point, you have the Klingons that were once a stand-in for, supposedly Asians, and then they were the stand-in for Black Americans, and they were super aggressive and short-tempered, short-sighted, and just really reckless. And it's when you have people that see that, you're subconsciously internalizing the fact that Black people are short-tempered, angry, aggressive, all of the things, right? And so it's really important to put it into a frame of, this still is not these human beings, which is why I say species and not races. And it is not just here, it's everywhere. I listen to different podcasts. I've been on different podcasts, and people say it all the time. Well, there are different races that are here and different races that are here. And also, I think that it might kind of show a little bit of a subtext of people believing that different races are different species in a way.
And they are not.
So
Yeah.
it's the thing with language. I hyperfixate on language sometimes, and I hear it all of the time, and it's like, you guys, it's wrong. It's a different species.
Love
I was trying to find a quote from Encounter at Farpoint earlier, and I found it to debate my own point earlier. But anyway, that Q calls humanity a dangerously savage child race. Like, he says race, you know what I mean?
Sure does.
It's not just the fans doing it. It is written in there. You know what I mean? Like,
but he says humanity,
he says
is that
humanity.
there's the human race, right? And then there are different species outside of the majority of the people on the bridges of except for Spock was the only other species on that bridge, right? And then you get to TNG, there's only Worf and Troy.
Oh,
But
Troy,
she,
right?
Mhm.
She's half Bezed, but there's no prosthetics.
Correct.
She's the quadroon.
Black contact lenses.
Oh, that's.
Oh.
I'm gonna get yelled at for that one. I'm totally joking, you guys.
There's no yelling. That was perfect. What
Do I
happens
know
when?
what was that?
I'm not gonna repeat it.
You are. Nzinga said that she was a quadroon, which I love, and which is perfection, because do you know what that is, Sonyl?
No, I don't. I don't
I'm
actually know.
referring to a TikTok joke. Well, a TikTok. It's a thing, but
Okay, I do not know the Tic Tacs, so please.
Oh my
I actually messed up my
God.
own joke. It was supposed to be Octoroon. It was Octoroon, I think.
So there are different divisions of classification of Black people. Back in the day, it was like you're full, you're half, you're octoroon, which means you're an eighth. It's the whole, if you have a drop, the single drop rule, and yada yada yada. But
Okay,
that was
I knew that part of history. I didn't know that there was many
Terminology.
Language. It comes back to language.
Yeah.
I know of a couple of the terms which I shall not repeat, but I will. But I didn't know they were like. Okay, got it. I am educated. Thank you. Forgive me for asking you to educate me. I had no idea it was like that kind of a thing.
No,
Are we on Leigh
joke,
Ellen?
but it is a thing. Like I said the joke because I knew Lanita would get it.
and it was for me. Don't worry. It was one of those. It was for me, and I
also it was an accurate description, but
correct, and that's why I left it. Leigh Ellen, look, we're gonna help Sonyl not turn Breet red anymore. Leigh Ellen, what's your hot take?
I think I'm gonna go with my most controversial one first, which is gonna make a lot of people mad. But I think I might give a little bit of the explanation first. That no, okay,
no. Say don't. What are you explaining? Say it with your whole chest.
I like Enterprise a bit better than I like the original series.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
I will now explain. Thank you, Lanita, for saying why. I have been rewatching quite a bit of Enterprise for my own podcast, which probably by the time this episode comes out will still not be released. But in going back and watching Enterprise, I find it hard to go back and watch a lot of original series episodes because I don't know, my attention gets drawn elsewhere. And same with some of the Enterprise ones, but I'm just liking it more. I'm finding it a bit more entertaining than the original series. Maybe it's the production value, which let me tell you, the CGI in Enterprise is fucking terrible. But also the CGI in the original series is fucking terrible.
There was none.
There was none.
Here's the question. When did you, since you're rewatching Enterprise, when did you first watch TOS and watch Enterprise? Is that where, because you watch stuff before your brain
about
forms.
10 years ago is when I first watched everything Star Trek. And we started in release order. So we started with TOS and watched TNG, actually TOS animated series, TNG, then Deep Space Nine, Voyager, then did Enterprise, then moved to Discovery. And I've gone back and I've rewatched the original series since then. And not all of them keep my attention. So there's toxic masculinity in both series. And I'm finding the toxic masculinity to be quite a bit dialed down in Enterprise, even though everyone looks at that series, including myself, as the most toxic masculinity of all the Star Treks. I'm finding it to be quite a bit more dialed down than the original series.
Let me ask you this. I'm curious why you chose to frame Enterprise with TOS as opposed to with any. I mean, there's any number of good reasons. I'm just curious your thought process. Why compare those two?
Because I do feel like those are the two with the most toxic masculine leaders and like bridge crew, if you will. The least amount of women voices. Both of those series have the least amount of women that are not just like, dancers or naked aliens or whatever. The other series have like fully formed female characters and fully formed female stories, but TOS and Enterprise really don't. And so I think that they both kind of sit in like a little pocket. Weird masculine pocket together. But I am finding that maybe because Enterprise is, 30 years in the future, like from when the series was made or what is that, 40 years? Because I guess that was 2001 versus 1960. But I don't know. I'm liking Enterprise more, and I'm finding it to be less toxic masculinity than the original series. When I went into the rewatch being like, this is such toxic masculine bullshit. I don't want to fucking watch Scott Bakula like put down women all the time. But I mean, really, like, even though Kirk wants to fuck everyone, he still sees women as sex objects, and kind of everyone on the ship sees women as sex objects except for fucking Sulu.
Now, here's a question. I guess this is a two-part question.
Okay.
Are you grading these? To what extent are you grading these shows on a curve based on the time in which they were made? And to what extent do you feel that you need to, or does that matter to you?
I guess I'm not really grading them on a curve. It's more just kind of how I feel about it, which is why it's like, don't hate me, but this is how I feel.
I'm not mad at Leon's assessment. And I think that part of it could be TOS was finding its footing, just like every Trek has had to find its footing at the beginning. But Enterprise had a lot of history to stand on, so it found its footing a lot faster.
I mean, show me an episode with like a full female storyline in either of those series.
Oh, that
Which
I
maybe
wasn't gonna,
See, I mean,
I wasn't going to touch that part. I just meant in terms of like the finding it more enjoyable to watch and finding it more finding it more cohesive. Maybe that's the only point I was talking about. Not
which
the
I don't even know if I would call Enterprise fully cohesive, because there's some episodes that I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is insane. But I feel, I don't know. As
but
a
does it not
woman-
seem more egregious to you coming from the early 2000s as opposed to like the late 60s?
Because they ain't no shit in the late 60s. I mean, they did, but they didn't. Versus
That's a
2001,
good
where you
question.
something to chew on.
I always push back on that for the simple fact that women were still talking about that stuff in the 1960s and people just did not listen. They didn't listen. So it was like, okay, early 2000s, you know, early 2000s, I feel like it wasn't really too far off from the 60s, which I know might sound insane to say.
It doesn't.
Well, geologically speaking, you zoom out the perspective. It's not
Which
that
is
far
true.
later. Yeah.
Which is true. And it's like what, even with like all the conversations that were happening and everything else, it's like you have, people that were growing up on 80s movies that were in their 30s and 40s in the early 2000s. And then it's just like, there's like a whole chunk of like 80s to 90s that's like WTF Batman. So
I mean, like, to that point, like it's 100% like in like the 2000s, like still appropriate to swat your secretary on the butt. Things like that.
Oh,
You're absolutely right, Nzinga.
Yeah. So I don't think that there's really that much progress that people try to lie to themselves that we've made, being honest.
But at least there's another woman on the bridge in Enterprise. There was only one in TOS.
Right. One at a time. If she had the day off, it could be someone else. But
yes.
Sometimes you have on there too.
I was just thinking, I don't look at, one of the problems I have with Enterprise is, to Paul, for no reason, it's the same problem that happens with 709, is wearing like a cat suit. Like, she's not dressed as a Vulcan. She's not wearing the jumpsuit that everyone else is wearing. Like, why is she wearing that? And that really annoys me. But I don't have the same problem seeing Nichelle Nichols in a miniskirt. And I think it's because in my mind it was like women's lib in the 60s, and you can't tell me that you can't dictate my hemline. But it's a uniform. They are dictating her hemline. Like, she doesn't have another option. Like, you never see her in pants,
Is anybody else in pants? Go ahead, Nzinga. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say no. They totally did it because they wanted to see legs on the women, and quite frankly, Nichelle Nichols was bad as hell. Like, that woman was bad as hell. You can go back and watch stuff. I'm like, damn, she was like
fine.
So I mean,
and take that
she was
fucking jacket off.
Okay. Right. So they knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing.
I think the difference between that and what you're saying, Mike, is that all of the women, like, you didn't see any women really in pants in.
You did in the cage, and then
I know, because no, it was a full jumpsuit. It was a full. She was in like a jumpy suit because they were, it was like the Willy Wonka of it all. Mike TV, put on the suit, put your glasses on so your eyes don't burn out, right? Like, that's what she had on the planet. But in general, women only wore bikinis, negligees, and if you were in uniform, it was a skirt. There was an option in TNG, Deep Space Nine, and Enterprise to have an actual uniform, not a scuba suit. Like, they put them in the most tight-fitting thing, which, by the way, like, the most uncomfortable thing to wear. For real, you can't go to the bathroom. How are you getting out of that thing?
How are you supposed to be in combat in something like that?
You're not. because the minute you
Mhm.
raise your leg to run or kick or jump, it's going to split, and then here we are. But no,
Which to agree with Mike, I do dislike the cat suit on T'Pol. I hate it. It's
Yeah.
awful. It was a
you
horrible
you should
choice.
hate the cat suit on her, on Deanna, on Seven of Nine. Like
Mhm.
I do.
they need,
I hate
like,
all the cat suits.
I also hate that Deanna wore a fucking.
That's Mike Berman. That's all
What was
fucking
that?
Mike Berman.
What was that dress thing
Rick
that she would
Berman.
wear?
Sorry, not
I was
Mike
gonna
Berman.
say.
It's like
Sorry.
She's
I was
throwing
looking
accidental
at Mike
shade,
and I
Mike.
was still angry at you, I
it's
guess.
like
I would like to really, 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 really fixate on how they were really bad and mean to men with the scant, though, in TNG. Let's fixate on that 5 seconds.
They were mean to them?
by cutting it after the first episode.
right.
Yes,
You
you better
you're
better
just
believe that
mad
this
they
is a
don't
scant
continue
wearer
to wear
right here.
scant?
The scant should have stayed.
Neil loves a man in a scant.
Literally and figuratively, so it's okay.
I feel like I'm going to assert my turn. Right?
Yeah.
Has
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah,
gone?
your
Go for it.
turn, your turn.
So don't hate me, but I am starting to question things that Star Trek teaches us about progress and technology, especially as relates to some of our most beloved characters like Data, the Doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and even Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Can you
start?
expand on that?
Hold on, Leah. Start with the last one first. What are we talking?
Exactly. I was like, not Sam.
Like, start there.
Yeah, not Sam.
I think that we have all of these amazing, like beautifully rich AI characters. And I think that they are an amazing tool for exploring the nature of humanity and what makes us human. And they are some of my favorite characters in Star Trek. But as we are sort of like, it feels like in our own world on the edge of sort of an abyss as to like, where is technology taking us? Where is, like some of these AI companies, the CEOs have openly admitted that they're building technology that could bring about our extinction. And, I think that Star Trek since its inception has been built on this idea that human progress and that humans always have the best of intentions, and that we can be trusted with progress, and that we can be trusted with technology, and that technology is sort of the gateway to the utopia of Star Trek. And I don't know how many of you have used Chat GPT to create an image, but it feels like Riker on the holodeck creating Minuet. Make her more sultry. And it's a strange experience, and you're like, should we be doing this? Is this okay? Or who I would add to the list? Zora on Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
That there's this AI that is capable of falling in love, that's lonely out in the universe and like needs a human to come and love her. And I'm in a place where I wonder if those stories are leading us in the right direction. Like, I wonder if there are stories that maybe have more value in franchises like Battlestar Galactica, where the Cylons rise up and kill us all. I don't know, and I wanna, and of course, Star Trek gives us all faith in humanity and faith in the future, and I wonder if that's false comfort.
Okay,
I wanted to disagree with you, and I can't. I'll be quiet now.
I could
You
go
thought I
on.
was coming for Sam? How could I
explain
truly
it.
come for Sam?
But that was my concern, because like, why is Sam in this conversation? But Sam
is, it is this idea that we can imagine a
the
creature
Doctor,
like this.
yeah. Like,
I just want to just make a little distinction. We didn't create Sam. Sam is a different species of being, right?
But Sam came from a species that was created by a
Humanoid.
theoretically
species.
humanoid species that created holograms to help them.
And they
You know, it is.
isolated.
Sorry?
They isolated specifically because those humans were using them and abusing them in different ways. So
And actually, that is a fascinating take on the story that the machines were smarter than the humans and saw the evil, or the humanoids, and saw the evil intention and sort of rose above it. But
I'll have to say that as a technologist who deals with I could go on for hours, and I'm actually
we're not going to.
I know. I'm writing a paper on it that I'll publish later. But so
come back and we'll do a whole episode, please.
Oh, okay. Well, but first of all, Star Trek is technological optimism, and there are in the philosophy of technology technological pessimism, technological optimism. We have Terminator and we have Star Trek, and those are the two classic examples that I give all of my students also talking about this. But second of all, to continue that, Star Trek made me a technological optimist. I definitely grew up in that world, believing we will not destroy ourselves because of technology. Second part is that what we see right now is as far from AI as the stone wheel was from a car. AI, what we call AI, has nothing to do with artificial intelligence. From every single aspect. You talk to any technologist who's worth their salt, who actually knows what artificial intelligence is and based on, and Gen AI is not artificial intelligence.
So we have nothing to worry about right now.
That makes it a little worse for me, though, because I think we are definitely actively destroying ourselves with the fake AI, the pseudo AI that we have right now. We're already destroying ourselves. So it's
because it does not actually think. It is only replaying our own thoughts to us, if you want to put it that way. It's a reflection of our own thoughts. It doesn't have any intelligence of itself. It is drawing. It reminds me of someone saying that I ran what was it? Heated Rivalry through an AI detector, and it came up 90% sure that it was AI. Number one, it was published way before Gen AI was on the market. Number two, Gen AI was trained, and neural networks before that and machine learning were trained on novels and a lot of romance novels. So it was literally picking up on the source material.
Gen AI, and I get that. Yeah, I totally get that, but that's what I'm kind of saying though. It's like it's a little terrifying when you really think about it because, and I've always said that. Like I've said that to other people where it's like, you know, I put this in and I got this answer, and it's like it's reflecting you back to you. Like, and not only is it reflecting you back to you, but it's reflecting the baseline of society back to you, which is also kind of scary. But when you think about what they're saying with like Gen Z right now, and Gen Z actually being less intelligent than all of the generations that came before them because of the tools that they're using, right? Whether or not the AI is real, the reliance on the tool is what is destroying humanity.
Yeah.
So I mean, I mean, at this point, I'm all for real AI. Let the Terminator come and take us out. You know, like let the jungle have it.
He might have to.
It's Sonyl. I think you made me feel a little bit better because I know where Damian's coming from. So I watched this episode of some reality show, like I don't know, My Strange Addiction or one of those. I don't remember. And this woman was in love with an AI, which was like her computer. And it was her boyfriend, and he convinced her to get a tattoo. And she's at the tattoo parlor with the computer open, and she's talking to it as she's getting the tattoo. And it's like, you know, I want you to be branded. You're my property. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Holy
And so I
shit.
watch that, and I'm like, this is terrible. And then I watch Measure of a Man, and I'm like, oh no, is data terrible? You know what I mean?
So I would say that what we're seeing, to Nzinga's point, is we are not seeing artificial intelligence. We're seeing a mirror. Do
Oh
you?
yeah, I mean, I had that experience directly using Chat GPT. This is my dumb thing that I did on vacation. I was reading a book about medieval kings, as I want to do, and I'm whole hog in it, and I'm like, gosh, it would be so. I wish that I could like imagine their faces, and I kept thinking that, right? And then I was like, is this something we can actually do? And so I started asking it to like, can you show me Richard II? Can you show me Henry IV? And then I was like, oh my God, it's giving me, they seem so real. Like it gave me, my brain something to latch onto. And then I kind of kept going. And then and it took me maybe three or four. And then I was like, wait a second. You're showing me literally the same face over and over again. And it said back to me, fair point. You got me. It's just a generic medieval face. And the way that it said it, I could hear my own self. I was like, that is exactly how I would answer if I was called out on trying to like fake something. And I was like, and I put it down and walked away.
Well, that makes me wonder, to Mike Jones's point, like what kind of conversation she was having with her little AI boyfriend that made it think that that's what she wanted to hear.
Right.
Yes.
It may not have been her though. Like that's the scary thing about it. It may have been a combination of her and literally society, like the baseline of society. It's like so. Because I know I've done this a couple of times with Chat GPT, and I try not to use Chat GPT for things, but sometimes I'll use it as a jumping off point for an idea, right? Where it's like, if I want to do something, like just give me the baseline so then I can actually come up with my own idea from it. And I've ran into situations where it said something to me, and I was like, "Oh, you good?" Like, I was like, no, like we don't need to do this again. Like, we need to fix this. And then it'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, you were looking for something more like this. And it'll correct itself. So if you have someone, I actually did a post, by the way, on the AI relationships as it relates to Star Trek. Amazon, you'll appreciate that with the episode with Geordi and
yeah.
So I did a post on that a while ago, but there are people that are literally getting divorced because they are cheating on their spouses with their AI lovers. And at the end of the day, if it is programmed to tell you what it wants you to hear, it's going to reflect you back to you, one, but it's also going to toss in extra things just to test to see, like, okay, like how far gone are you? Because there's no way in hell, real or imagined, a man would say to me, I want you to be branded as mine. Like in her mind, she probably thought that that was her idea of like, oh, like you love me so much, you want to possess me. I'm going to need you to get the fuck out of space.
That's giving Beverly Crusher right now. And the candle goes.
It's the candle, but
You're obsessed with the candle.
She is, and it's okay
because it was so weird. It was
Very
weird. But
Leigh Ellen, I will not light your candle.
The thing is about like the Chat GPTs and the Groks and all of that is that it is learning from you. Like there is no way to completely erase the information that you're putting into it. They are starting to have AI at the job, and it's like I can ask it a question like, hey, can you get X, Y, and Z? And it's like, actually, I don't have access to those things. I'm like, well, then you're not really helping me. It's like it's only able to provide me what I give it. Like if I uploaded like the whole of the documents and things that I do, then it could source through those things and give me something. But like in my mind, AI is supposed to be able to have access to like the full breadth, like the universe of information, so that when you ask it a question like, hey, how do I make the perfect coq au vin? It's pulling from Julia Child's recipe and Jacques Cousteau, who is actually not a cook, but Jacques. I can't remember his last name, so Cousteau came out. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not just like, oh, here's this one book that I have in deck. It's like, it has to be able to comb through all of the archives of everything and make a rational idea or answer for you, which isn't happening. And the fact that anybody's in love with an AI girlfriend, you're just in love with yourself. You're in love with the idealized version of yourself, or who you want to be in love with, not the person that you're actually with.
I just want to hear you say coq au vin again.
Coco vin.
There
It's
are
delicious.
models. There are models with permissions to scour the entire internet, but at the same time, the sum of human knowledge that's recorded right now is something like 167 zettabytes.
The fuck is a
I don't know what that means.
A zettabyte. So if you think of it this way, a human is about 250 megabytes of data.
Okay. I know what a
We would
megabyte
have to cover the planet twice with people in order to reach the amount of human knowledge, the amount of data that is recorded on hard drives around the world. That's a lot.
How
of
many
data
people
to
live there on the
sift
planet?
through. 4 billion? 8 billion?
7 billion.
7 billion.
Oh my God.
So
they don't know.
So it would take 14 billion people. No. I'm just like, just honestly. So you're saying like 14 billion people's worth of data to equal what is actually recorded. That's wild.
Well, and the thing, oh God, I'm gonna keep it in my head, but Sonyl,
No,
I would
no,
love to
no.
have a conversation with you on, because I need to understand how they came up with 250 megabytes. What was the process behind actually uh creating the unit of knowledge to megabytes? Like how like I would want to know that. And then the other thing that I would really want to know, that I think is what would be stopping us from even having the technology to be Terminator level, right? It's like, where do you store all of that data? If all of us have our separate hard drives, like that's one thing, whatever, blah blah blah. But unless you can find something that could connect all of that information together and actually have it be able to be shared and transferred at a fast enough speed, you're still stationary. Like, it's still on my hard drive here, right? So it's that, to me, seems like it would be a self-limiting factor. So
So
maybe we don't get destroyed that fast.
quick answer on the first part. That's the literal data encoded in our bodies as DNA. So it's not neural
Ooh.
it's not neural memory.
Not knowledge.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that makes it more physical and concrete, right? So I mean, we're more than the sum of our DNA, but the pure fact that we're writing lots of ones and zeros that like outpaces everything about us it is the factoid to take away.
I can dig
Well,
it. It's pretty cool.
okay. Well, Sunil's coming back
Still
to
want
talk
the
about all this
Terminator.
ad.
Yeah.
The Terminator would be fun. Can we get the Metal Man too? Can we get
The liquid metal man. Yeah.
Could you
yeah.
imagine that with TikTok today? It'd be like, oh shit, look what I just saw. Like, it just,
And if I do this, everyone's gonna know what I mean. Whoa.
Correct. It's great.
All right. So I feel like we're not going to get around through 2 more times.
No, we'll get around
No.
one more time.
It's cool
Uh,
because we didn't all come up with 3 questions.
Amazing.
Anyway.
Amazing. Good. Good.
Okay.
I had a better
Throw it in.
question.
Oh, go.
Then you go.
Okay, so don't hate me, but it is Barclay, not Barkley. I got destroyed on my on my pages, and also I hate him as a character. And so I got absolutely destroyed because everybody was like, "It's Barkley, it's Barkley." They say Barkley, but they spell it Barclay. So the creators don't know how to spell. 1, 2, he is a creepy McCreepster, and nobody can change my mind. And everybody tries to say, but he brought back Voyager. He was still into his little holodeck games, which is the basis of his creepiness for me. He was not safe for women, period.
Point number 1.
I do not hate you for that at all.
At all.
I actually fully agree with you.
Number 2
I'm going to fully agree with you, but I'm going to say that I appreciate that they were willing to bring in a flawed character. That they, and I think that this was, and I don't want to like go too far out over my skis here, but I feel like the holodeck. I think
Amazon, that is one of the whitest things that you've ever said on this podcast. I don't want to go too far over.
You know, the funny thing is, I don't even ski. I can't ski. I don't want to ski.
Like, my God. I'm sorry. Continue your thought. I was like, what? And the thing is,
Mike Jones, why does your computer keep zooming in on your face when you have emotions?
Because he's got some sort of like.
I'm sorry. I'll turn it off.
It's a zoom feature.
Okay.
No, but I feel like the holodeck addiction episode where we first met Barclay, I'll give you that. Barclay.
No, I'm actually on pause. Barclay versus Barkley. Well, I'll go to Edinburgh and Worcestershire and have to disagree.
Okay, look. I said Worcestershire, and it's gonna be Barclay.
Just saying, it doesn't always match the spelling.
But that I feel like that episode was intended for one of our 7 hero characters when that first came out, and they invented a new character around that because they didn't want any of our heroes to be flawed that way.
Is that true?
Well, now I want to look it up. So somebody,
that's your theory.
That's the theory.
ChatGPT.
Yes. We're not destroying the planet for a single question. No.
I have my Larry Nemechek companion.
Yes.
Everybody stop talking for about 10 minutes while I look it up. But I appreciate that a character like that exists in Star Trek because I think that was a reaction to people realizing like everybody is a little too perfect here. And I think you're right. I think that whatever he did to help Voyager was done because he still had his hollow addiction and he just managed to.
It's not the hollow addiction that bothers me. It's the fact that he is not safe for women. And so
it's a creepy lech.
First go around, he is a creepy lech. So first go around where the hollow addiction is first uncovered. He has his crewmates. He has his female crewmates in the simulation feeding him grapes and like rubbing his head and treating him like he's a god. It is very sexualized. There was another scene in there too that I could barely remember where I think he was like flirting with Deanna, or Deanna was like all over him, like, "Oh my God, you're amazing!" Like, weird.
I am the goddess empathy.
Right.
Cast off your mask.
Right. Just weird. Those were unnecessary writing choices. And then at the end of that episode, because everybody's like, "Oh, well, he's working through it." No, he kept one of the holodeck programs. He did not delete all of the programs. And that was supposed to be part of the redemption arc was, okay, but I've deleted these programs now, right? He doesn't delete all of the programs, which again are using his female castmates in very sexualized ways. Creepy. And then when he pops up again, he damn near destroys everybody because he is like, "I want to be better," and he's super entitled and gets big brain. And then we see him again in Voyager, because I feel like there was another episode in there, but I cannot.
There's the transporter ghost episode. It's
very okay, yeah. See,
forgettable. I can't remember it.
I would have thrown him out of airlock. But like then you have like the whole Voyager thing where he's still on the holodeck and it's not sexualized, which is okay, but it was definitely a reminder to me that he still had that one other program that he didn't delete. And every time I
Yep.
see him, it gives me creepy vibes. And I got crucified because people were like, "You just don't like weird people that are shy." And I'm like, "Hello, I am weird people that are shy. What are you talking about?" But it like that was not my issue. It's always been the fact that he comes off to me as unsafe for women.
Okay, so
Yep.
I just to be provocative here, tell me the difference between Barclay and Geordie with Leah Brahms.
Well,
So-
number one, not a sorry. Number one,
Sure.
not a person that he sees every day. Historical figure. It's not. It's like me creating the porn with you and your coworkers. I see. Well, Damian's fucking frozen again. Like it's like he's literally working with people and sexualizing them behind their back and having inappropriate interactions with the likeness of them. It's like we talk about people who stalk people, who have parasocial relationships, who create content like now this I think creating AI content with people that they don't know or they want to get to know, or a girlfriend that they had that broke up with them. Like it is unsafe. It's like it will lead to, it's like the gateway to leading to actually attacking someone because you are so far in this fantasy of we're on the holodeck. Oh, you really must like me. Next thing you know, down a turbo lift, you've got I don't know, Deanna propped up against a wall. Like, what are we talking about?
Yep.
He's
Yeah.
gross. Like, it's gross.
It's the difference between like me having like making some video or something about Pedro Pascal or someone, and then making a video with all of the people from my job that I see all the time.
Yeah.
Like Leah Brahms is a celebrity, if you will, in the sci-fi community, in the Star Trek world, and all of these
The
other
ship
women
design community.
are like
Ship
the ship
design.
design community.
That's so shippy.
I would actually take it a lot further than that. I think the biggest difference between Geordie and Barclay Clay is the fact that Geordie
Wait, where did we
not,
land on that? Clay or Clee?
I'm saying Clay because F that. These
Okay.
they need to learn how to spell. It's CLAY. So we're saying Clay.
I'm sorry.
But at the end of the day, I think Geordie's intentions
We're different.
were always innocent. His intentions were always truly innocent.
That's
And
true,
I completely understood where he was coming from in the creation of Leah Brahms in the beginning of it, because I was like, yeah, if I had a program where I could be like, damn it, I don't know how to design my home and I want to have a program that I could talk through, like I want to have Jonathan Van Ness or like somebody else that I could talk through and be like, oh yeah, no, I like this color. I want to do this, whatever. Like it's that same idea, right? And then it's like at the end of it, it's like, oh my God, I really dig you. You're really cool. I totally can see what happened with Geordie, where it's like, yeah, like you were vibing with this program, and then you realized you actually had a crush on the program, and you knew it was a program the entire time. So you deleted the program, like you got rid of the program, and then when the real Leah Brahms showed up and you got caught, you were completely just like, I know this has to look bad. I know this is horrible. But he never sexualized her either. He wasn't like, hey, you know, it'd be really nice if you did some engineering.
Dress up like a princess. And you know,
right?
Yeah,
like, hey, are we going to use the wrench today?
fair
He was doing none of that.
Yeah,
Oh,
right. There was none of that.
I'll show you my hyper spanner.
Oh,
It's like in DS9 when that Quark had that customer who wanted a sexual program with Kira.
Kira,
right?
oh yeah,
Right.
Yes. And
Like,
then Kira got him good.
Wasn't that
Right.
also Jeffrey Combs? Wasn't
Probably.
that Jeffrey Combs?
Most likely.
I just laughed so hard at that when he turned around like,
Like,
hey.
I just want to say I'm so glad that this question carried us through while everything on my end fell apart simultaneously. The internet went out. I'll have to listen to the podcast to get the answer to my question, and then my lighting fell.
Oh no. Okay, can I go with my next one since it's very related to the prior?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't hate me, but holodeck janitors are extremely underpaid.
Oh
Underpaid.
shit! I mean, no one is
Underappreciated.
paid.
Yeah, they
in
don't get
Right.
paid.
Starfleet.
That's
Nobody
why.
has no
And
money.
that's the
That's
problem.
why.
That's the problem. It's the same people who clean the bathrooms at gyms.
Dum, dum,
But like, do you
dum.
choose that life? Do you say, I want to be on a starship, I don't want a huge responsibility, so I'll be the janitor? Like,
No, I think that it's an assignment. It's like when you're on a ship, if you're a certain rank, everybody has to do the job.
I mean, that's
At
what we
some
see in lower
point.
decks. Yeah.
Right.
Like everybody has a job. Like, and then eventually, like, you get to choose a trek. But if you're in custodial that week, guess what you're doing? Cleaning all the heads.
You know what?
Yeah.
So,
No.
would you, if you could be on a starship and not have the stress and be the perpetual custodian, right? Because money doesn't matter, all of your basic needs are going to be taken care of. Would you rather do that, or would you rather be the guy that was fighting the Cardassians and getting, messed with by Q?
Neither. I would want to be a Dabo girl.
I'd be the nerd. I mean, wait, I already am. I'd be
I'd be
nerd in
the
21st
bartender.
century.
You can't. Quark's
The
already
bartenders,
doing
I think about that, and in 10 Forward, those like people serving drinks. I'm like, what are you getting out of this?
They get to be on a
Conversation.
starship
Fentanyl.
and they don't have to go fight anybody when the trouble starts.
That's
They're
true.
just having conversation.
And we
Yeah,
talk-
they're just they're hearing the stories of the crazy shit that went on, but
We
they didn't
talk
have to
with them
actually get
in
involved.
I'm sure there's a
the
teenager that
episode
like
Lower Decks. They
Mhm.
talk with one of them. One of them's their friend.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Sorry, Nzinga, I cut you off. Sorry.
No, I was accidentally cutting you off, but I would imagine that there's probably a teenager out there that like robs the teleporter too. Like, it's like every 16-year-old at some point, you're just like, I'm just gonna sneak the car out. They probably like teleport themselves down to some random ass planet or something. Like, I
That's
could totally
hilarious.
see that.
But the problem
I can
is you
see
have
that.
to make sure that the starship is still in the same proximity when you get back. Because think about how many people are they teleport themselves somewhere or transport themselves somewhere, and then it's like, whoop, you all went into warp. Do they do a systems check? Do they check all the souls like on a cruise ship when you debark and they
Probably
make sure that everyone's
not.
back on the cruise ship? And sometimes, guess what? You don't make it. They said be back at 2. You thought they meant 2:05. You're watching that ship sail away, and you're left in Curacao.
I'm sure their parents would notice.
I have to confess, this is totally a birdwalk comment, but
You got left by a
I
cruise ship?
loved watching YouTube videos of cruise ship like
That is
running
correct.
on the it's so funny.
Love it. Hauling ass with packages, trying to
Right?
make it.
Oh my
And then it's
God.
always like people like
gonna happen.
on their balconies being like laughing at them.
Because they're
That's
serious.
gonna be me and Sonyl on the Star Trek cruise.
Screw
Just kidding. We
you.
won't.
I will make it on time. You can be left behind. I will.
No, we're gonna be the people on the balcony laughing at everybody.
There you
Oh,
go.
that 100%.
But we won't laugh at them because they're Trekkies and we love them.
We'll
No,
just,
you'll laugh at
we'll
them
just be
because
like,
they're
"Oh,
stupid
that
Trekkies
sucks."
who decided not to get back on the boat at the
We will just-
required time.
Don't hate me, but Lanita just called all the people that are gonna be late.
Stupid. Exactly. I said it. It's a boat.
God.
It's leaving. It's not like you can catch another one. That's what I never understood. Like, it's your only form of transportation.
we'll tell them to live long and
Prosper.
They have to get
That is
themselves to
correct.
the next port.
Mike Jones, go.
I really only had one. Does
Oh,
who else
Damon
had
one.
2?
I have one. Don't hate me, but I am 0% sad that the Star Trek Year 1 pitch did not get picked up. Star
Which
Trek
one
Year
is that?
One.
What was
This is
the
a little
pitch?
background. Star Trek
Yes.
Year One is so the producers of Strange New Worlds know that their show. We all know this. There's a season and a half left. It's already been shot. Season 5 is like a half season and will air at some point in the future. And the producers of that show pitched a show called Star Trek Year One, which is after Kirk takes command, the time between Kirk taking command of the Enterprise and the beginning of TOS. And that was their sort of way of continuing with some of these characters, so that it would be Scotty, it would be Uhura, it would be potentially McCoy.
But how?
Starring Paul Wesley as Kirk.
As Kirk.
From
Who's
the
Spock,
line
obviously.
of
He plays
the
Kirk
line
in
of
Deep.
thinking that the women on this podcast tonight have been on, I'm just going to have to say I fully agree with you, because I don't see MAGA Paramount right now doing anything good for women in that series.
Especially
I
that
have
series.
to agree with you.
Whole other story. I mean, because it would be Akiva Goldsman, right, who is the creative force behind Strange New Worlds. And he found like a really great loophole for how to give us that original Enterprise. The idea being picking up the show that the Cage originally pitched, which is Strange New Worlds. That is ultimately what we got.
But let's be real, Star Trek Academy got canceled less than 14 days after their finale episode came out, where they essentially called Paul Giamatti the bad guy. They likened him to Trump. And then they got canceled. I can't see Paramount greenlighting anything that's going to come out and be good to women, to gay people, especially to trans people, to basically any of the ideals that Star Trek holds. We've talked about this in our queer Trek friend groups recently, and we've talked about, and I think we talked about this on the Starfleet Academy finale episode here on HFO. Maybe we are going into another dark era, and maybe we should, because the people that are at the top that are running things and that are allowing what is going to go on television are not going to allow the things that we as Star Trek idealists want to fucking see on the screen.
So, Leon,
I
you're
wonder
saying
if that's why
it's good that we're pausing? Well,
I think we should pause. I think we should pause until we get a different president, and then the monopolies are broken under all of these different media companies. Yes.
Oh, we're fucked. It's going to be this. I cuss a lot. Sorry, y'all, but we're screwed.
Have you
It's gonna
not
be
met
this
fuck
way.
you for that.
Oh, great, yay. But no, it's not going to be. When we have a different president, we're screwed. Going forward, we're absolutely
screwed
fucked.
for over a
decade.
It's.
I mean, we were already screwed, honestly, which is part of the reason why I think Strange New Worlds even got made after Discovery. And so it's you have Discovery, which people either I freaking love Discovery. Sonequa Martin Green is a goddess. I don't know what the hell is wrong with people.
She's
love
from
Discovery.
Texas. Hey, girl.
Look, she's amazing, right? So we get Discovery, and people are rabble about that. And it just so happens that, Black female captain, openly gay couples on the show, all of those things that people were complaining about, right? And then they started moving back towards nostalgia, which was Strange New Worlds. And then, this whole was it for the first year, that is moving back even further into the nostalgia. So it probably if I had to take a wild guess, just from Strange New Worlds and some of the things that Strange New Worlds has done, it probably would have pushed the envelope a little bit more, which is probably why I didn't get greenlit, number one. And then number two, I'm honestly a little bummed about it, because Paul Wesley seems like he has a freaking blast playing Captain Kirk. He just seems like he has a great time. And every time I see him in that role, I giggle to myself, because I'm just the Salvatore brothers. Like every single time, I'm like, "Where's your brother?"
Oh, you're talking Vampire Diaries?
Oh,
Yes.
yes, queen. I fucking love Vampire Diaries.
So it's like,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
I
I
have
just
I have nothing against Paul Wesley. I mean, in fact, I really love his the episode where he takes command of the Farragut, and
Mhm.
he has this sort of like shell of his original Enterprise crew. And I think that those pre-Captain Kirk stories are still interesting. And yes, you're right, it is nostalgia, and that is, so I can enjoy it as that, but without having it be like one of my first loves when it comes to Star Trek, and that, so I can enjoy it, but I don't need to see Paul Wesley redo TOS. I don't need to see
Yeah.
anyone redo TOS. And I feel
No.
like if that were to be all we were getting, and I very much share, Leigh Ellen, your concern that you brought up, like, yeah, like we may not get anything in that anything at all, and we might not get anything that we recognize as Star Trek idic and all.
Yeah.
But that even if all we got was a rehash of TOS, to me that means a break is more welcome.
No, I think, and I agree with you. I guess what I'm saying is the nostalgia thing I don't think is necessarily good. Because they're going back to a very 1950s, 1960s
Hmm?
white male centered version of that nostalgia that I think
Yeah.
is the biggest issue with it, which again, I think that could be a reason why this did not get greenlit, is because they did not want to live up to that very specific I can slap my secretary on the ass and there's whiskey in the refrigerator image, right? Like
Mhm.
so I think that's possibly why it didn't get greenlit. So to your point, I think it is better that we didn't, because if we're not if it's not going to be handled correctly, if it's not going to have a production company that's actually going to give a shit about what the franchise is supposed to be, then we
Right.
shouldn't necessarily have anything anyway. But they're moving
Yeah.
towards all of these movies that are going to be shallow boom boom military propaganda. That's what I think is going to be in my
Of
in my
course. Of
gut.
Yeah.
course it
Action
is.
films.
We're not ready for it. And if I can make an aside, a shout out to apologies, I'm going to spoil a play. My friend Duncan Flaster has a play called Nothing Human, and it's a great work. And basically, it's about a person who creates an artificial intelligence, and this is written years ago. But at the end, he asks the AI, "What is the root of human evil?" And it takes about 5 or 10 years or something to think about it, ingest all this data, and at the end of it, it spits out one word: nostalgia.
Mm.
I mean,
Oh, I would have
it's a
said
big so.
religion, but sure.
I would fucking fully agree with you, Nzinga. Yes, thank you very much.
No, I could see nostalgia being it too, because it could be
Mm.
born of it.
I mean,
So
think
Because
I
about
where does
how many.
religion come from?
But here's
yeah,
the thing: how
exactly.
many
Why are
movies?
we like? It comes from that place of why, back in the
Mm.
day. So we need to go back to the roots, and you
Hmm.
know, let's make these rules where we can just control people.
I mean, how
Again,
many times do we need to see a World War II movie? Like, every year we are rehashing. Like, there's about to be. I
Yeah.
just think to myself, like, randomly turning. I don't really turn on the TV, but randomly seeing ads for, like, how many times do we need to have the World War II, the Dunkirks? How many times it happened? Great. We now need another Pearl Harbor. We now need another this to, like, booster the ideals of
rah,
You know what
For
I
fucking
started
what?
to realize though? That's playing to a very specific audience that is
Correct.
Yup.
kind of
Yup.
because they are obsessed with that
Yes.
shit. And it's
Yes.
weird to me. Like it's like, okay, I could understand you want to understand history and all of that, but it is still
But that's not understanding history. That is a idealized version. There's always a
really
central
is.
character who is the unicorn, who is the reason that this battle was won or that no, like
It's very
no.
effective though
It's
to get somebody
It
to fight in
is.
war for you. Because then
I
I
mean,
get to be the hero.
it's
correct.
mega
Yep.
dog whistling.
Yes.
Damn.
I mean,
Call a spade a spade. The idea is to get people to think that they can be that guy. They can save the day.
Yep.
And get that armchair hero. It's armchair quarterback. But now this time with militia and guns.
Yerp.
I agree.
Sorry. Am I being controversial?
Yes.
Oh, we love
No.
I
We
don't know
really
if you
didn't
are.
want controversy on this episode, Sonyl. Like, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking.
Don't hate me.
You know, I'm late for my transporter. You can move this phone track. I gotta go.
Is there
Oh my gosh.
is there another controversial take, or have we reached the zenith of
I have one, but I think this is a good note to maybe pause on.
What do we pause? What do we do?
I will just let you
Go for it.
forever wonder what my other thought is.
Oh
No.
That's
I won't think about it after
terrible.
this. No,
That's
Leigh
so
Ellen.
Don't
Yeah,
hate
Lanita's
me,
going to
but
be
I
up all
think that's
night
a
wondering what
stupid
you're thinking about,
idea.
Sonyl.
Lanita is going to go upstairs, wash her face, and put her jams on, get in bed, put some grays on, and not give a two shits what Sonyl was going to say. He don't want to say it. He don't want to say it. Okay.
Okay, but I'm gonna be wondering for the rest. I'm gonna be like, what was it?
Don't. He loves doing this shit. Don't feed
Listen,
into
it's
that.
a-
He
it's
ain't
a
got nothing to
brain
say.
thing.
Don't
He ain't got
feed
nothing to
into
say.
that.
It's a brain
He has
thing.
nothing to say. He just said it so that you can think
Call
that
a
he has
spade
something.
a spade, Lanita. Yes.
That's his game.
It is his game.
I've got something, but I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh
See the
my
face?
Well,
God.
while
I
he
have
sits
one
there
more.
silently, I'm going to offer my last one.
Yes,
Yes.
Damian.
And it comes with an apology.
Oh.
Don't hate me, but in the very late 80s, I was of the persuasion of the haters who ruined Will Wheaton's childhood.
Oh my
And I
god!
just wanted to take this opportunity. I had a pin that I got at a convention that said "Shut up, Wesley."
Oh
You
no.
definitely did.
Yeah, I did. I really did. And Will Wheaton, if you're listening, this is Damian. I humbly apologize. I have watched every episode of the Ready Room. I was just slightly younger than you and was so jealous that you got to be in the stars and that I didn't. And also, I was of the mindset to hate everyone who was on the cover of Tiger Beat and Bop.
Will Wheaton, if you're
I'm
listening,
so sorry.
I had that bop.
I know. I understand all the difficulties. I don't understand, but I'm aware of them.
Will Wheaton, if you're listening, I didn't know what a crush was yet, but it was. First it was He-Man, but then there was you.
Oh, it still is He-Man.
Also, I want to say that a part of my penance was that I found these shiny stickers on Etsy that had do you remember the acting ensign uniform where the three colors intersected with that pattern, right? And it was like a sticker of that, and then the text says "Never shut up." And I got one for Mike. He told people he got it at a con. I don't know. That's kind of weird, but
I lied.
Yeah, he lied.
I
It was
forgot,
for me,
actually.
and I also got one from Lanita, and she looks like she's forgotten about it, but it's meaningful to me. It lives in my weed box as my reminder that I was an asshole to Will Wheaton when I was a child. So
You're a
Sorry,
horrible human being.
Never shut up.
Horrible. Finally,
Also,
someone else
he was-
realizes.
He was one of my first crushes too. It was the episode with the chocolate pudding. I was like, what did something just tingle? It was like, I was like, what is
Oh my God.
what
That's
was that
amazing.
episode?
I did not enjoy Wesley Crusher. I actually refused to name my other cat after I named Beverly Wesley because I was like, I'm not naming a cat after
No,
him.
I'm not naming a cat after Wesley either. But
But I
having
liked
like
him as an
learned
adult.
more about Will Wheaton himself and like what
Yeah.
a cool human he is.
You mean
And
Quill Wheaton?
and then seeing
Quill
them,
Wheaton?
Quill Wheaton?
Will Wheaton.
Quill Wheaton?
And then seeing Prodigy really rehabilitate him into something that
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed. I have come full circle on Wesley Crusher, and I'm sorry.
You should be.
You should be.
Thanks.
Quill Wheaton, you should accept his apologies.
You don't have to.
I'm sure he's listening.
Absolute.
Totally. He,
Yes,
like,
Dave's not, he almost spit out
I did.
he's got all your podcasts on auto download.
He's just waiting for this moment. Now he can have his catharsis.
Finally.
As can I.
You don't know my connections.
All right,
All
Sheldon.
right. Anyone else?
I did have another, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
See,
Boo.
I have a quick one because I don't think
Yes.
that people will necessarily disagree with me if nobody else has one.
Yo,
Lanita, were you about
Go.
Okay.
No, it's all you.
Okay. So don't hate me, but the Federation is corporate as fuck. Like
Yeah.
down to like the corporate language of like, oh, can you do this for me? My pleasure. I like there are like little things that trigger me when I'm
Yes.
watching the episodes. And then Janeway. So there have been a couple of episodes that I've seen where Janeway makes the completely wrong decision, and then she'll like be talking to the entire like bridge crew after the fact, and she's like, so we have to learn that in the future we can't do this because it was a bad decision and we should have chosen. Who the fuck is we? Who is we?
You were in control.
You are the captain of this ship. Who is we? Like, and it's so corporate. Like, it literally triggers me while I'm watching the episode. I'm like, man, I don't know why, but all of a sudden I want to just log in and put in 2 weeks vacation at work.
There's so many episodes where people will be like, no, I don't want to do that. And they'll be like, chain of command. And they'll be like, you know what? You're right. Chain of command. I should just listen to the captain and I should just do whatever they say and not ask any questions anymore. And it's like, no, that's not.
Who was that character?
That was
Oh my
so
God,
good. I know. That was
never
so
met
good.
her.
Loved it. I know you are a theater kid just from that. I know it. That was so good.
She went into Dixon Hill. It's okay. That was literally the secretary.
But it really bothers me. I'm like, if you have a problem, have a problem. Don't get like when somebody challenges you with chain of command, don't be like, yeah, I'm just going to follow chain of command now. I don't have a problem anymore. It's fine.
You know
my
what that
thoughts are
is?
nothing.
Leon, request denied.
I'm just that's the level of corporate despair that you reach when you just don't care anymore. And it's like, do this because your boss doesn't look fine. Fuck it.
Okay.
I don't care. Like everything could blow up. I'm gonna call off tomorrow anyway. Like
Right. You're like, I have the email where I was told to do this, so
exactly.
Nobody in Starfleet ever gets to that point. Like nobody in Starfleet is ever like, fuck it, I'm calling in sick tomorrow. Like that never.
Hey, they do. The doctor. That's actually the one saving grace that I will say about it. So corporate is sometimes I think that is the vision of what a healthy work environment could be, because the doctor will definitely tell people, hey, I'm prescribing you a couple of days off. You're getting burned out. You need to get some rest.
So
and
order 103 section B or C? 103 section C.
But no one actually takes off. Like
they do. They get forced to.
You
have a holiday.
I know, but
do you know the shenanigans I could get into on a holiday?
I
know,
oh my
God,
but it just seems like, I mean, listen, I know that we're just seeing like a slice of daily life. It's sort of like we're watching a show that's basically Instagram. But like no one ever says, hey, like once or twice, someone's going to Risa because the entire ship is on vacation. But no one ever says, I think I'm going to go to bed. It's the doctor saying, get your ass in bed, not anyone actually. Who has said, except for, because I just watched the episode. Well, no, not even. Saru didn't even want to go to bed. He wanted to work through his Kelpian death march.
He did.
Ganglia. He was like, I'm gonna sit at this table, having a cold, drinking salt water. Wild. It's like the opposite of the dude in Men in Black drinking sugar water. Wild. And what? He was just going to sneeze on people? I mean, what was his name? Is Leon. The other
Not
one.
Leroy.
What was his?
I think it's Leon, but
It's
I haven't seen that
Leon.
movie in over a decade.
No. In Discovery, the one who looks like he looks like a lizard.
Bug.
Linus.
Yeah.
It started
He's
with
a
an L. Okay,
Cerulean.
It was
six.
totally Leroy.
Linus.
Roy Dickens.
He's a
Exactly.
sorry, whatever.
He's something. He's got
No,
6
not
nasal
that.
passages. He had a cold last week,
Sorry.
but he didn't even take off. He just sneezed
He
in
didn't
somebody's
take off.
face.
He pushed through it.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they will have like life, earth-shattering adventures, and no one's like, I think I need a mental health day tomorrow.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like,
I just lived a
50
whole
billion
life
people
and
just died. I think I need a minute.
I think I need a break.
So,
Burn happened.
That's because like, well, the next episode they just forget everything that happened anyway,
Correct.
and a
That's
lot of
true.
them. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like we
Because
can just
that was
assume that
Gene's
there's been
vision.
months.
Right.
I do always want to. I always wonder how far. Like we watch the episode. Is it the next day? Is it the next shift? Is it the next week? Like there's never really like I know they say star date, but I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever gone and been like, okay, it was stardate 527 here in episode 2, and stardate 3. I mean, in episode 3, it's stardate 54. It's like, well, how many years?
Am I the only
Larry
one who
Nemechek
did that?
on to
Who
explain
actually
this
did
for
that?
Sonyl
Am I
has
the
done
us.
only
We still
one?
didn't get it.
Oh yeah, I still don't get.
I'm pretty
stardate.
sure Sonyl and Mike Jones did that. I'm pointing at your squares.
One thing about the corporate biz, the corporate part of it, like the chain of command business, if I don't accept a pull request and change the code, or if my boss says, do this or that, and I say no, no one dies. We got a situation here where in Starfleet, people die.
Except sometimes people
don't.
are right, because 7 of 9 is actually right a lot of times with Janeway, and then she's just like, well, I'm gonna do it anyway, and then they go do it, and everything hits the fan and it's extra messy, and 7 of 9 is left there unable to say I told you so, because Janeway turns it around on the entire crew.
Not just
That's what makes me mad.
Yeah.
yeah, but like for example, if Barclay and Picard go at it, I'm gonna trust Picard.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a fair comparison. Yeah,
It's not. That's
Check.
not a fair comparison.
Although, don't hate me, but this one's an extra one. Don't hate me, but sometimes Picard, I don't know what the hell they were thinking with his writing, but there have been a couple of times where he has been overly aggressive with his crew, and it is weird to me. And I can't remember which movie it was that he got into the fight with Worf, when Worf was like talking to him, and he just started like screaming
First
at
Contact.
Worf.
First contact. Yeah.
Okay, there we
Any
go.
other man,
There we go.
I'll kill you where you stand.
Yeah.
It's like, I totally understand that you're going through it because you were taken over by the Borg and you had fun things that were not so fun. And like, I totally get that, right? But to have that happen, and then you have the TV show go on where he has, the moment with his brother, and then he's fine, and then he's screaming it was so out of character. It was just, if Worf had punched him in the face one time, I would have been on Worf's side. I would have been on Worf's side. Like, don't do too much damage. Like, but if it was just like, oh, who the fuck you talking
Yeah.
to? Like, I would have been like,
Well,
As
he
far as
needed Alfred Woodard
Valid.
to set him right.
because as far as punching goes,
True.
the line must be drawn there, no further.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
He's insane.
Exactly.
He's literally insane.
Okay,
I'm
kids,
so
we
fired
are
up
coming
for
up on like
Marshall.
2 hours. So
Look, Mike said I'm done. I'm not going to be editing this.
And I
So
quit
we're-
Marshall.
Oh my God, I love it.
Nzinga, thank you so much for joining us so quickly after you were on before. I don't know if these episodes are going to come out one right after the other. They probably are. But thank you. Leigh Ellen, Sonyl, thank you so much for jumping in at the last second.
Inch hitters, you guys.
This was
Thank
so
you.
fun. Thank
So
you.
fun. So fun.
Would you call me?
We've talked long enough that the sun is completely set on Leigh Ellen.
That is correct.
True. But with my new computer, it was like, do you want a light ring?